Hey there, you guys. Welcome back. Let's do a little bit of a garden tour. I'm only going to show you the new and noteworthy things because I want to keep this a little bit shorter. We'll do the front and the back in this one, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy. If you see anything that you like, ask questions in the comment section down below. I'll see if I can answer them. So anyway, last night we had a ridiculous storm, or yesterday through the day, and I had a bunch of things break. The bird bath in the back is on its side. I need to get something this weekend to maybe a patio stone or something to put underneath it. It was sitting right in the garden, and it looks like the clay saturated, or the soil saturated, and it just kind of sunk down. I tried to restand it, but it just kept falling over. So I'll need to get something to stabilize it, and yeah, until then, I'm going to keep it on the ground because it won't keep falling over and breaking that way. I don't want it to break. I don't think it would break because the soil is very soft, but even still, I don't want it to break any plants around it. So anyway, let's get to it. Let's wander around. Let's start off with this one over here. My lily, I think it's a Lilium longifolium. I don't know, are they called tree lilies now? I don't know. But they get really, really tall, and they get beautiful flowers. Anyway, the flower spike had broke off last night. It hadn't yet opened. I was so excited for it. You guys want to see it. Let's move over to it now. So it's this right here. This is the first year that it looked like the flowers were going to open up and not be distorted. For the last couple of years, it had barely flowered. I guess the bulb has been working on sizing itself up. Now I've got a little clump here going on, yeah, you can see here that everything, it really ripped the plant to bits. It was awful. This is a really strong stem. It's like a piece of wood. And the lily itself was probably 5.5 feet tall. It was pretty big. And down here you'll see, oh no, this is, I thought these buds had fallen off, but it's part of one of the other plants. So I'll stake that one up a little bit later. The original one is staked. You'll see the black pole, but I guess the wind was too much. So I'll show you what the buds look like in the house. So stay tuned for that right now. So this is the lily that broke off. I'm in the kitchen, and it was really devastating to see that happen. It was awful. But it is what it is. Now it's a cut flower. Hopefully they all open. There's a lot of blooms. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, around 20 buds there. So hopefully they all open. I don't anticipate they will, but this has opened since last night, so that's hopeful. Hopefully they're not too fragrant because my allergies will not like that so much. But let's see what happens. Anyway, back to the garden. And back to this garden. The geranium here was a beautiful mound. It covered right up to the tree, but the wind has blown it. It's windswept now. It's all off to one side. I'm just noticing it now. The chrysanthemum, the fall mum, is looking beautiful. It's really ballooned in size. Like it's amazing how big it's gotten over the last couple of days, maybe a week. And yeah. I want to say the cardinal climber, but it's the cypress vines are finally starting to attach to the fence. As you might be able to see, the leaves are so fine that it's hard to see, but I'm really excited. It's been a battle with these. They've really wanted to stay in and attach themselves, so they just turned into a little mound, and they really look disfigured because they were just climbing in amongst themselves and ruining each other's leaves. But now it looks like they're climbing on the fence, so now hopefully we are homeward bound, and it'll fill up the fence with these beautiful ferny-like leaves. And we have, oh, the air is so bad out here. It's hard for me to breathe. It's about 30 degrees Celsius. Right now it's about 24, but it's really high humidity. But through the day it gets up to about 30 degrees with a humidex of almost 40. So it's pretty crazy. We've got the tomato plants here. They've started to produce some little tiny tomatoes. These are mother of millions, or million bells, or million something. And you might be able to see them back in there by my fingertip. Not a lot of production yet, but I do see a bunch of flowers. It's still kind of early, I guess. And then we've got some more of the cypress vine here, climbing up this this trellis. And then back in the back, I don't know whether we're going to get to see this today, but I've got garlic. Actually, let's go back. We've got some garlic scapes going on here. I'll cut those off maybe this weekend. I've got all kinds of dill growing in the ground here. And I've got some gladiolas. It looks like all of these ones back here, the small ones, they are little baby bulbs that I think survived the winter in that spot because they just started growing. These bigger ones are the ones that I planted. So that's really cool. And I might end up leaving these in the ground to see if they come back. I think they're in a protected spot, and right next to the house I think keeps them warm enough. I think gladiolas are hardy to zone 7, maybe 8, so it'll be a fun experiment. And then my dahlias. This is really fun to see. My dahlias last year, they barely even bloomed. I think they started really, really late producing buds, and they never really did anything. And this year, I'm already starting to get buds. So that's super exciting. Hopefully I'll have a nice show of dahlias this year. And then over here, I have some spider flowers, or spider lilies, that are almost finished. But here they are right here. They're such a pretty plant. They're related to amaryllis. So they bloom very similarly to amaryllis. They almost are bare when they start producing a bud. I'm stepping on the soil and I'm sinking. They're really early flowering, which is nice, but I really wish that they had multiple bloom times throughout the season, or they were a summer bloomer, because they take up a lot of space and they finish so quickly. So anyway, here are my plumerias. It's really soggy over here. I'm standing on the patio stones and they're shifting and I feel like I'm falling over. Some of them are doing better than others. But hopefully I get more flowers this year. I did get flowers on one of them. I don't remember which one it was, but they were really pretty. And they smelled beautiful down in the grow room. So yeah, hopefully we start to see more growth. A lot of things are really slow to develop this season because we've had a lot of cool nights down below 10 degrees, which is ridiculous. Normally I would bring plants in at that temperature, but so late in the season I'm like, you know what? Survival of the fittest. I can't keep bringing everything in and putting it all back out. I'm trying to acclimate things, and it's just been a really tough go. And you know what? If something doesn't make it, that's fine. I've got lots of stuff to replace it with. And then we got these beautiful little Colocasia esculenta fontensii. I think that's the name. But they have a really cool rubbery dark green, almost purple foliage. And I ended up splitting out some of my little Amorphophallus conjacs. Some of them are starting to grow up. I took some of the tiny bulbs out, and yeah, fingers crossed. There's one here that's doing okay, and then that one as well. And there's the pumpkin patch. Let's go quickly check out the pumpkin patch. Before we get to the pumpkin patch, let's just take a pan around of the garden. Things are changing. I will be moving things around again very soon. The Japanese maple is really bursting to life. I put some, what are they called? Gerbera daisies down here. I've got a red one here and a pink one over here. This balloon flower is absolutely gorgeous. I'm happy that it maintained its shape through the storm, and the Japanese forest grass is looking beautiful. I was really worried that it wouldn't come through as well as it did, because as you know, we had a late frost that killed off all of the new growth, but it's bounced back. You wouldn't even know the difference. And then I just a couple of days ago I trimmed back the spirea. It was wild and woolly and huge. I'll put a photo of what it looked like right now, because it was just crazy. Don't be afraid to trim your spireas. They really do appreciate a good trim. Once they flower is when I trim them back. Once the flowers are faded, and it will promote new growth, and they will flower again. This Sedum Autumn Joy is looking beautiful. And then this, I don't know the name of this sedum, but the wind has really caused it to hollow out in the center. So I'll probably end up, once the flowers are done, I'll probably end up cutting it back to get it to mound again. And that is about it for this garden. This cute little stachys, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's just started to bloom. It's a Stachys minuet or something, just a tiny dwarf variety. It's in the lamb's ear family. And then right next to this is balloon flowers. They're just about ready to pop open. Let's check out the pumpkin patch. Okay, so here we are at the pumpkin patch. I planted some sunflowers in here as well. You can see them kind of poking up above. So that'll draw in some birds later on. This is actually the first time I've looked at this pumpkin patch in about a week, so I don't know what's happening over here. This is starting to flower. What is this one? This one is green zucchini. They are starting to flower. Let's see if they're starting to produce any zucchinis. I don't see any zucchinis just yet. These here are the male flowers. As you can see, there's nothing down below. Let's see if we can find a female flower. This here, over here, is a yellow zucchini, and this is the female flower. It has a little zucchini here. Once the flower gets pollinated, then the zucchini starts to grow. So you don't want to pick off all of the male flowers. Here's a male flower right here in my hand. You'll notice that it stands up a little higher, and you've got no fruit down below. So I know as a kid, I was told to pull off all of those ones that don't have any fruit on them, all the flowers, but you want to leave those because those are the male flowers. They're going to pollinate the female ones to give you more fruit. So as for the pumpkins and gourds, I'm not really sure what's happening. I see all kinds of flower development. There's a lot of bud development, but I don't see any fruit starting. It's very damp here right now, and there's a lot of mosquitoes. So I want to keep this quick over here in the tall grass. Let's see what's in here. It's all starting to vine. So there's lots of flowers developing, like I said, but I don't see any female flowers yet. So it's starting to vine like crazy. As you can see, from this point on, it's just going to be ridiculous. It's just going to be a mass of vines. They're going to grow so fast. So hopefully we'll see some pumpkins and things developing soon. I'll keep you posted. Let's get back to the garden. Okay, so here we are at the front garden. I've got the Borneo Giant, elephant ear, Alocasia Borneo Giant. I thought this one was going to be dead, but it's coming back. As you can see, we've got some green growth, but it's been so slow. It starts to grow, and then we get the cold snap, and then things die back, and it's just a whole thing. And then over here we have a beautiful Stokes aster. The flowers close up through the day, at night, and then they reopen during the day, and they're just stunning. And the flowers are really, really big. They're about 4, almost 5 inches across. This is still opening. Supposedly, if you deadhead them, they flower a lot longer. So in the coming days, I will take this one off because this is the very first one. I'll let them last for a couple of days, and then I'll remove them. I'm not going to wait until they turn brown because I don't want them to even think about producing seeds. And then we've got the iris from Botanis that we unboxed a while ago. That's a Siberian iris. I put some stalks in here. I think they're evening scented stalk. I've been removing the flowers to hopefully get them to branch out and produce more buds, but they're really, really slow to grow back. Maybe removing the flowers was a wrong idea. This is the perennial hibiscus. It doesn't have any flower buds starting on it yet, but it won't be long. We're coming into its season. This year, I'm going to deadhead it really frequently. Last year I did not deadhead, and the flowers stopped being produced really early. And here is the Echinacea purpurea green twister. It is so tiny. That's another one from Botanis, and I love it. It's so pretty, but I was hoping that it would be a little bit bigger. We might not get flowers this year. We might get flowers next year. And I ended up getting a couple more varieties of sedum. I can't remember what the names are. I need to make the tags. The tags are inside. but look at how cute these are. Little perennial sedums, and then the little leaves there. And then these ones are cuttings of reverted ones that I got in the back. The ones in the back are variegated, and these ones are just that steely blue. And I love the steely blue, and so I just took cuttings and stuck them in the garden. And we have some portulaca that are growing from seed last year, and I'm very happy about that. I'm not going to take those out. I really find portulaca to be quite beautiful. And this is the soapwort, I believe soapwort, that I got from Botanis as well. And the Limezinger Sun Sparkler sedum. I love the red edge or the pink edge on it. I don't know whether it's showing up in there, but they're so pretty. And let's see if this comes into focus this time. This is the lavender platinum blonde. It's starting to get the variegation on the leaf, as you could probably see. Hopefully it's coming in focus. I think it is. And so pretty. And because of the wind, we have all the pots that are normally on the step up by the door because they were starting to blow away. I have this mixed planter of pelargoniums or geraniums. I love the different colors. We've got just a regular kind of variegated, and this one's more of a yellow variegated, more of a white variegated. And then this one just kind of a fun leaf shape and color. So far they're all red blooms, and we'll do a video on deadheading these in the future. I don't know what happened here. I thought all of these ivies were the same color, but this one is turning into a limey ivy, and these ones are all green. So very interesting. And then we have some agave. This is my spineless agave, and the mangave lavender lady. I love the lavender lady. It's so pretty in the shade. So let's go check out the center garden now. So this garden has really come into its own. This year is probably one of my favorite years for it. The hydrangeas have really gotten big over the last couple of days. The wind has really taken its toll, and they've fallen over and broken. But hopefully we'll be able to fix that. We'll be tying them up this weekend. And as you can see, we've got the Sweet Alyssum down here. We've got the purple and the white that are doing really beautifully. And we've got the Colocasia esculenta Jack's Giant that is finally starting to grow. It's really enjoying this heat wave that we're having. And then we have the grass, the bandwidth. It's like a zebra grass, but it stays small. That's about the maximum height it gets. And then we have the salvias in between. I have two different colors. I have the one that has the black and blue, which is quite stunning. And then we have the pinky purple of this one. So they alternate, and they're quite lovely. And then this is the peony that was flowering. And then here we have a little bird's nest. This tree was the one that fell over mostly last night, and some of the branches are broken. But as you can see here, we have, can you see them? Right in there, little baby robins. I don't want to get too close. Mama bird is yelling at me. And then over here we have another one of the elephant ears. So let's check out the back. So before we get into the back, I have this area by the AC, the air conditioner, and thank you, air conditioner. You've been a godsend for the last couple of days. We have some begonias. I think these ones are called Griffin, I believe. Either that or Pegasus, I can't remember. Either one, it was a flying creature. This is the original plant, and then these are cuttings that I took. I've got more on the other side of the air conditioner. And then this is the other fern that I got from Botanis. It's looking really good. And then more begonias. I have all kinds of European ginger that started from seed. The original plant died a couple of years ago, but now this year I'm seeing all kinds of seeds being produced, or babies being produced from seed, and I am going to let them be, and I'll move them where I want them later on. Another begonia. This fern has been worse for wear. It doesn't seem to do well in this spot. I'll have to move it. But as you see, this one has a little bit of growth down here. So I've got to find a place that's shady enough that it stays moist. I need to try to water this more often. It could also be because of the concrete. It might be changing the pH of the soil. Who knows? So let's go to the other side. And here we have some hostas. This one is called Whiskey Sour. And then this one's called Appletini. Appletini is my favorite out of the small alcohol-based hostas. I think that the leaves are quite perfect. Where this one, the leaves are a little bit longer and a little bit more floppy. And we've got another begonia. This one is so beautiful. The iridescence on this one is stunning. And then at the back we have some more of those griffins or pegasus or whatever the heck they're called. And we've got the variegated lily of the valley. I need to watch this one because it tries to revert on me, and the reversion is far more vigorous than the variegated one. And then over here we have a little, you can't really see it, but a little cutting from a begonia maculata. Hopefully it grows, I'm not sure. And then we got this beautiful begonia here, and then another one over here, and then a baby one of those silver ones. Not sure what it is, but it's super cute. And then these are little hostas that I started from seed a bunch of years ago, and they're looking pretty cute. I think that they're a type of whiskey sour or appletini, or maybe they're a cross between. And then this is another hosta that I got from Botanis. So let's get into the backyard. So let's do a pan around. I've got a bunch of sansevierias over here. I've got my tower garden with the peppers. These are called sweet cherry peppers. If only I could remember names. And then this one is the ghost pepper, the chocolate ghost, and hopefully they do really, really well. And then down below I have some just bell peppers and some mint, and I've got some what is this one? Pineapple sage, and at the top I have the Amorphophallus konjac. That's where I took all the babies from. So we'll back up here again. The pots along the pergola are doing beautifully. Let's go this way first. I've got my little aeroid nook. They're not looking so great. They're acclimating to outside. I'm trying to keep them moist, but not wet, which has been a challenge. And the wind has been an issue, and yeah, everything's been an issue. Inside we had thrips, so it hasn't been a good go. So I'm trying to get the watering down, and hopefully outside will help. I do have a shade cloth, but this area is shady most of the day anyway. It gets a little tiny bit of morning sun, but it gets shaded out by the house pretty early. So I'm hopeful that is not too much sun for them. So I'll keep my eyes on it and see what happens. I've got some new leaves starting to come out for my gloriosum and the pastazanum, so hopefully that helps out. So, and then we've got another plant shelf here. This has more of the Hoyas and succulents and whatever, and I have some more sansevierias over here. The wind looks like it has knocked a bunch of things over, and I need to probably do some repotting. But yeah, I'm not going to go through every plant. Things are a mess in there. They're tipped over, but we could get another storm today because of the heat. So the wind will probably pick up again. So I don't want to start disturbing anything. Let it be what it is for now, so it doesn't get more damaged a little bit later in the day. So here we go. Pan around of this garden. There's areas here that need to get fixed. There's areas here that need some more attention, and there's areas that look beautiful. So that's the fun of a garden, is it's never really complete. There's always something in need of attention. So this little nook here is super cool. I love this tree. This is the Robinia Twisty Baby. Oh my gosh. Looks like the wind has broken off a branch here. I can't even win. I can't even win. So this branch came off in the wind, which is a real shame. It's a beautiful branch. I don't know where it came from. I think it came from up here. As you can see, there's a broken branch right there. So this was a beautiful tree up until yesterday. I love how it's coming out. It kind of looks like it's growing in tufts, and yeah, we'll see how it grows. Hopefully it continues to do well. Down underneath here we have, this is Acanthus hungariensis. As you can see, it's starting to produce its candle flowers. They're looking super good. It really wants more sun, but these self-seeded sunflowers are taking priority right now. As they get taller, I'll remove some lower leaves and allow some more light in. But I really enjoyed the sunflowers last year, and I didn't want to rip out too many because I just wanted them in this spot. So it really brought in the blue jays, and it was so much fun watching them. So I wanted to bring that back this year. So they're all supposed to be large flowering sunflowers. And then we've got the Regal Shields Alocasia down here. So good. This is such a hardy variety. It's so tolerant of anything you throw at it. It does well inside as well, but it does even better outside. And then we have the Wigelia is trying to bloom a second time, but the new leaves are coming out, and I like the new leaves better than the old leaves. They're much wider, as you can see. These are the old leaves that came out in the early spring, and then the new leaves are bigger. So hopefully it produces more of the new leaves, and I might end up cutting back the stalks with the old leaves on it, just because I don't like that look. The rose is, well, a little worse for wear. It looks like maybe it heaved over the winter time, and look at we've got exposed roots. I might have to replant this one. I might have to dig it up and replant it, which is really odd. That's very strange. But this rose is so prolific with its flowers. Maybe I'll just add some soil to the top this weekend. And this lavender is looking beautiful. Look at that aura of lavender blue or purple. I ended up getting an Oriole feeder. I should get the thing for the orange slices for them. I hear that they really prefer orange slices, but we'll try out the Oriole feeder. I know that we have some in the area, and I got some more hummingbird feeders, and the rose, this is Love. I need to cut it back, and we have some lovely, is it Apiscia? I think that's what it is. The butterfly weed, and it's starting to produce some flowers. So much fun. I like this plant. It looks like the wind has broken this one as well. We got some busted branches. It was really, really strong. It knocked the palm trees over. It ripped up some of my banana leaves. It was just a concern. And then this is the banana grove that's not really doing very much. Finally, I'm starting to see growth on the old stalks. I'm seeing right here, it's finally producing a leaf out the top here. It hadn't done anything for so long, but I think the soil was too cold, and we got those cold snaps like I'd mentioned, and everything kind of just stalled. And when they thought about growing, then we got another cold snap. So it kept setting them back. So it looks like we're at a home stretch, and hopefully things are going to grow better. And I've got some of the salvias growing here in front, little cluster underneath the bananas. We've got the pink, we've got the purple and blue or black, and then we've got some blue ones in the very front that haven't yet started to open yet. And then the pots here are doing okay. They've really been swept by the wind, and I don't know whether they've been drying out, but they let's check it out. They're still moist, but they're getting dry. But the rain probably pelted them to the point of exhaustion. So we'll see what happens. I'll give them a little bit of a bath tonight after work, because right after this video I've got to get to work. And yeah, the ornamental onions always look beautiful. We've got one on either side, and the Japanese maple finally has a space to grow. We got a little bit of damage going on. I don't know whether it's an insect or whether it's a fungal problem, or whether I just need to let it be. Sometimes on new growth, especially with the yellowy colors, it could be sun scorch. And then we've got some flowers that are about to open for some daylilies. Over here we have the bird bath that I said was fallen over. I'll figure that out this weekend. I'll leave it down for now because it is glass. And look at this beautiful daylily. It's really, really starting to do beautifully. And then this hosta garden really needs to get thought about. I need to remove some of these hostas and move them around because there's hostas underneath the hostas. My minis are down along the front here. We got the tiny tears that's flowering, that has such a beautiful flower, but you can't even see the leaves. And then we've got that one right there. I don't know what that one is, but you can see him peeking out from behind. But this, I think it's Blue Angel, is just going crazy. And then we got some more daylilies that are starting to bud. And this forest pansy red bud is amazing. It's getting so big. I'll need to trim out the bottom a little bit again. And then we got the window box with the mums and the ivy, and there's a little bit of Tradescantia in there as well. And let's check out, I thought there was a flower starting to develop on one of the amaryllis. I'm keeping my amaryllis behind the shed, just so that they're out of my way, because I really don't like the leaves so much when they're just all floppy and whatnot, and I have so many. So I put them back here. They get light, they get water, and look we also get some flowers sometimes. That's so beautiful. I'm finding that with more light, the flower spikes are a little bit shorter, a little bit sturdier, and I'm happy about it. Another look at that daylily. Look at how beautiful that is. And then here is one of the alocasias. I'm not sure what this one is. This one I got from my neighbor, so I call it Tom. Alocasia Tom. And then we've got the monkey puzzle, looking beautiful. It's so pokey. And then over here we have this beautiful lily. I forget. It's like Monte Carlo or something like that. And it will be opening soon. This will be the first year it's open for me. I bought the bulbs last year late, and I was lucky they grew because they were really late. And this year they will flower. And then this banana, this end set, is looking amazing. In the beginning, the leaves were a little bit worse for wear. These are when the plant first started to come out of dormancy, and now it's starting to really come into its own, and it's nice and big. And the gaillardias are looking amazing. The Sum and Substance, wow! I love that it's getting the sun-kissed leaves. And then we've got some Speedwell, I believe that's what it is, or Veronica. And then this is Alocasia Serendipity. I love the really corrugated leaves. It's really, really fun. And another blanket flower, another gaillardia here, and the weeping, what is that? The weeping larch, or not weeping larch, contorted larch, looking beautiful. And back here we have some of the turmeric from last year that we were growing. I stored the rhizomes over winter, and they came through just fine, and now they're starting to grow. Then here are some of the bananas, the blue Java bananas that I divided off that I didn't want to put all of them in the garden, so I'll probably end up putting them on Facebook Marketplace. And then I've also got some Jack's Giant over there, the Colocasia esculenta. And then on each side of the step here, I've got canna lilies that I stored from last year, looking okay. And then these are Patora, so I think they're called Patora, or Bengal Tiger, I'm not sure, but they have the beautiful stripes. And then we have, this is new, an obelisk, and it was supposed to be over here, but we didn't like it so much over there. We like it here, and this has some honeysuckle vine on it. And hopefully, I think we're getting a little bit of insect damage. I thought it was flower buds developing, but it's not. It is some ugly new growth, but there is some flowers developing here. So I'm planting all kinds of things to attract more hummingbirds. I really want more hummingbirds to the garden. And then down below, I have the Xanthosoma lime zinger, which looks very much like a colocasia, grows like a colocasia, but it is a lime zinger. The leaves just look like velvet. They look like they're soft, but they're not. But I love it. We've got a little variegation on this one back here. It's not uncommon to get a little variegation in these. Either way, they're a beautiful plant. And then we have the hydrangea that's starting to bloom. We've got some buds starting on this guy. This is one that we got at the beginning of COVID, I think. I can't remember, as like a stay-home kind of thing. Everybody was getting them on their doorstep. And this sedum is called Thundercloud, and it is beautiful. I love the leaves on this. Look at the shape, the serration of the leaf. So pretty. Let's go check out the Carnivorous garden. So this is the last one on the list that we'll see today, and they're doing not so bad. They've been really whipped by the wind, which is a real shame. As you can see, they're all laying down. This is Sand Mountain. He's laying down. I staked them up, but along the stake they've bent over, so it was a really, really windy day. Hopefully they get replaced. The Purpurea is doing not so bad. As you can see, I need to, next spring I'm going to be dividing this out. I think I'm going to give each plant its own pot, and then we'll do a cluster of carnivorous plants. A carnivorous plant cluster garden. So we'll see how that goes, and stay tuned for some repotting next spring. And this is the flower of the tarnock. It's a hard flower. It's a weird one to look at. And this is the tarnock pitchers. This is the Sand Mountain flower right here. I tried to pollinate them, so we'll see if we get seeds. And yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the tour. It was a little bit rushed. Did the front and the back. I just need to get off to work. I've got to make some money. So anyway, until next time, you guys, happy growing. And I'd love to see your gardens. Post stuff to Facebook on Plants and Things What's Growing page. Also, tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see what you're doing. I'd love to see your little projects and maybe what you're propagating. Some little plant projects, maybe something new that you've started growing this year that really excites you, that you hadn't seen before. Anyway, yeah, until next time, you guys, happy growing.